Well, good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. You have the Rhino. We're going to look at a beer. What beer are we going to look at today? You know what? Let's grab this one. So, this is one of the most nonchalant cans I've seen in a very long time. There's almost no information on here, to be honest with you. It's Dunes Beach Beer from County Brewing Company, and it's a Kolsch. And that's really all you're getting on this. 4.8% alcohol by volume. So, here we go. Prince Edward County Brewing. So I guess it's Prince Edward County Brew Co. I didn't actually see the very light Prince Edward up there. So Dunes Beach Beer, Kolsch style, 4.8% alcohol. That's all you get on here. Now, if you turn it around, this is the only other bit of information on here. And we have Prince Edward County is home to the world's largest freshwater and dune formation. If you've never been, that's a whole lot of beach. Dunes Beach Beer is a refreshing lagered ale created for lovers of sand, sun, and sud. Then we have, again, an IBU rating of 22, 4.8% alcohol. County Brewco, Prince Edward County, Ontario, Canada. CountyBrewco.com. It doesn't actually have an address, so I don't know if these guys are a contract brewery or if they are a brick and mortar. And water, malted barley, hops, and it doesn't say yeast, but that's assumed. So let's try this. I've been to the dunes. The dunes are actually a lot of fun. Now, I don't mind the sand. I love sud. Not a big fan of the sun. So, I mean, this beer might not be for me that way, you know? Now, my only thought here going into this, before I even start it, first off, the look is proper. It's crystal clear, golden colored with bright white head and a big snap crackle pop. It looks the part. It really does look the part. Now, my only thing here is I do think that the Ontario market is getting saturated with Kolsch's and other just standard lagers, pilsners, Ace Hill Pilsner, Revive Ale from Lost Craft, Lug Tread, this guy, the lagered ale now from Mad and Noisy. The list goes on and on and on. And I mean, if I sat here and thought about it, I could probably name 15 to 20 of them. So I think the market's getting a little saturated, at least in my mind it is. However, companies like these guys, if they're marketed correctly, it doesn't matter how the market saturates, because, I mean, things like, say, Triple Bogey from, Triple Bogey, that beer is sold at a lot of golf courses. They have a niche in the market. If this is sold near this beach, near the sand dunes, they've cornered a market that makes it so that it doesn't really fucking matter how many Kolsch's are on the market. Let's give it a sniff. Yeah, it smells the part. Grassy, tinny, little tiny bit of hard waterish scent. It's got that slightly sulfuric stink to it. That Pilsner / Euro lager scent. So I mean, it smells the part. It smells the part. It smells the part. It looks the part. Let's taste it. As long as there's no faults in this, I can't say anything really bad about it. So, I mean, as of right now, it's a straight up 5 out of 10. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it stylistically. As of right now, it's really good too. So let's try it. Cheers. Very soft, both soft carbonation and soft mouthfeel. Very light bodied, very soft, light bodied. Subtle flavors, very subtle flavors. This is probably one of the most subtle flavored Kolsch's I've ever had. And I mean, it's not like Kolsch is a bold flavored beer to begin with. So this being actually more subtle is weird to me. Like there's not much to this at all. You get all the flavors you're supposed to get from a Kolsch, but they're just so laid back. They're mixed in with that soft, silky, smooth, light-bodied beer. A little bit of just random grainy sweetness. Then yeah, a little bit of grainy sweetness. A little bit of almost like a soda water middle, to be honest. Like the grainy sweetness goes to a slightly flat flavor, and then you end up with a slightly earthy, slightly grassy hop finish. All in all, if this was cold instead of basement temperature, I could just put these back all night long. I know that there's a lot of beer writers and beer enthusiasts that hate the word crushable with beer because it means you just throw them back without thinking about it or flavor or anything like that. But this beer is crushable. I mean, really, does it have anything offensive in the flavors? No, it's not offensive at all. Does it have anything that would really draw me in? Again, not really, but that's me personally. I mean, this beer tastes like a beer that anyone could drink. If you drink Heineken, you could love this beer. If you drink Coors Light, you could love this beer. If you drink Canadian, you could love this beer. If you drink Ace Hill, you could love this beer. If you drink Triple Bogey, you could love this. Basically, if you like soft, subtle lagers, this beer could just sneak right in there. And if you're in the locale where it's being sold, this beer would be perfectly acceptable. You get it cold, it's a nice hot day, there's nothing wrong with it. Excuse me. Now, stylistically, I think it has all the flavors it's supposed to have. I don't think they're anywhere near as pronounced as they should be for a Kolsch. So stylistically, I would probably give it a 7.75. I don't think on the average, compared to a lot of the other Kolsch's in Ontario, I don't think that it's award-winning or anything like that. It might win an award, you never know, because it all matters what that judge is thinking when he drinks it. But for me personally, I think it's a very, very good Kolsch. I just don't think it's a great Kolsch. Now, for me personally, where I would put this, I would probably put this at a 6.5. I have no problem drinking this. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just it's not flavorful enough for what I personally want. That being said, I could see where this has its places. I could see where people would love this, and I really do think that regardless of whether or not it's one of the best Kolsch's out there, because I personally don't think it is, I think that if you were in Prince Edward County near the sand dunes and this was being sold near the sand dunes, you could see thousands of people drinking this and nobody would care, because guess what? If this is cold, nobody will complain about anything. I mean, this reminds me more of like a pale lager, but that's perfectly fine. And it as a pale lager, it's amazing. As a Kolsch, I think it's good. It's just a little stood back. And like I said, personally, I'll probably give it a 6.5 overall. As a Kolsch, I'd probably give it a 7.5. So 6.5 and 7.5 overall, it would be a 7 out of 10 for me, and I wouldn't think I'd give it that. But I can't make any complaints about it. It's a fine tasting beer. It's a fine looking beer. It's a fine smelling beer. It goes down easy. Cheers. Dunes Beach beer from Prince Edward County Brewing.